Welcome to this video from Hansoft, where we'll walk you through how you can revive your product backlog. We often hear about successful projects that have taken a more continuous path, where they are kept being worked on over many years. Hansoft, a product a decade on the market, has many customers that have been using it for a long time. Let's take a look at a few good practices for how you can revive and clean up a Hansoft project that has seen a lot of use. This is a project that has been used for some time. As the product backlog is your carrier of valuable items, this is what you need to get in place first. As you can see, we have quite a few different sub-projects here, some of which are already completed. So let's start by archiving all items that are already completed. You can find them again by using Show and Show Archived Items. The next step is to clean up your priority view. Change to the priority view, then filter out everything that has the status completed. Now select all of them and set the priority to No Priority Set. In this way we can clean up this view so that only things not yet completed in the queue are prioritized. If there are still tons of things of very high or just high priority, it is time to limit the amount of items in each priority categorization. One good practice is to have just one very high priority, 5 high priority, 10 medium priority, 20 low priority, and 40 very low priority. This means that you will still have max 76 items prioritized, which is more than enough for one product owner to understand the business value from. If there are more items, just archive them for now. Some choose to move the items that doesn't make the cut into a sub-project called Icebox. There are essentially two different ways to work with a limited work in progress. The first way is to create a report where you group by product backlog priority to quickly get an overview if you are on track. A more visual way is to set up a dashboard with traffic lights. I will create one chart for each priority group. The first thing I need to do is to create a report that filters on how many items that have a priority and are not yet completed. I have then set the boundaries on each traffic light according to the limit. Now let's move back to the product backlog. An obvious key activity is to refine your backlog. In order to keep it in good shape, you should make sure that your backlog is detailed appropriately. This means to look at your lowest priority items and see if you can group them or merge them into a single big item instead. As they increase in priority, you can then break them down if needed. Next up is to ensure that what is top priority is really top priority. Are these features well described and could the dev teams pick them up straight away and get started? This is also a perfect time to restructure your product backlog. Look at it with fresh eyes. What is it that you are trying to achieve here? How can we fit each item under an overarching goal or ambition for the organization? How you express this in the product backlog structure will have an impact on what your product will look like in the end. If you did not take the time to think this through before, do it now. Next up is to ensure that the reports and user view presets are up to date. This section could easily be a video on its own, but just to show you the principles. A report is used to filter out or slice information, as I did with the report to look at the backlog grouped by priorities. A user view preset is instead used as an active view that, once activated, will change the columns that you see. As an example, I will create one for our sprint planning session. I can find the user view presets under the More menu. Here I can select that I only want to see the columns Product Backlog Priority, Points, and Committed to Sprint. When I save this preset, I can now find it under the Show menu and can activate it by selecting it. Voila! Now I only see those columns. Okay, so now we have a much cleaner product backlog. Please reach out to support@hansoft.com if you have any questions or comments on this video and tell us how you keep your long-lasting projects in shape.